10 things to expect when dating a Scorpio. If there's one sign that can really confuse you, it's certainly Scorpio. If you're dating a Scorpio, you probably already know this. The good news is that you can use astrology to demystify the most mysterious sign of the zodiac. If you're dating a Scorpio, you have a lot of potential for a romantic partnership as long as you understand both their strengths and blind spots. Knowing how to navigate a relationship with a Scorpio is important because it's very different than dating another sign. Their motivations, interests, and thoughts are almost entirely different than most people's, which can be fascinating and intoxicating. One thing you'll often notice when reading a Scorpio daily horoscope is that it often talks about passion, which they have a lot of. A Scorpio's passion is reflected in their dating life. A Scorpio rarely does anything partially. They are an all-or-nothing type of personality. Most of the things they do are to the extreme, so when they date someone, they will often be consumed by the relationship. They will want to stay connected with their partner because they love intimacy and knowing how others think. They will ask about your feelings because they really want to know you on a deep level. If you've been in relationships where your partner didn't want to talk about their feelings or yours, a relationship with a Scorpio will be quite different. They really want to go beneath the surface and expose the feelings that most people are afraid to talk about. For some people that can take some adjusting too, but it can be a very freeing type of relationship. 10 things to expect when dating a Scorpio. Number 1. Scorpios are very passionate. A Scorpio is usually first and foremost described as intense. They want to know everything about what they're interested in, and even the way they speak has a sort of enthusiasm that is uniquely Scorpionic. They certainly tend to be attracted to dramatic topics that have to do with life or death, which can explain why they often become investigators or professors. Scorpios often become passionate artists as well. They dedicate themselves deeply to their work because they allow themselves to be consumed in what they do. However, don't mistake their passion for weakness. The sign of the Scorpion are strong and resilient people. Number 2. Don't try to control a Scorpio. A Scorpio will always need to do what they feel compelled to do in their heart. As a water sign, they are all emotion and almost zero logic, although they can excel in logic-based things if they find it appeals to their emotional side. They like to make the plan and hate going along with what other people tell them to do, which is why they often work better independently. Give them room to be themselves and don't micromanage them in any regard. Number 3. Scorpios always win. Scorpios have a strong competitive side, which may come across as an alpha or dominant personality, but not always. Because they want to push for the extreme, they can become extremely competitive. Their determination and desire to achieve and excel can be a very positive attribute when it doesn't turn into obsession. Number 4. Scorpios love touch. Scorpios' senses and emotions fuel them, so they are very tactile people. Their love language is often physical touch and they are huggers for sure. They express their love physically more than any other sign and want you to be open and vulnerable so they can feel close to you. They are likely to be cuddlers and want to sit close to you or hold your hand. If you are someone that needs personal space and doesn't want much physical intimacy, dating a Scorpio may be a bit of a challenge. Number 5. Intense intimacy. Scorpios love intimacy of all kinds. They are going to notice how you're feeling and ask about them. They want to know what makes you tick and what moves you. They will ask you your deepest fears and try to help you through difficult times. Keep things on your terms and set healthy boundaries you're both comfortable with. Scorpios appreciate honesty, so let them know what you are comfortable with. If you want a sappy romantic partner, they might just fit the bill. Number 6. Scorpios love to flirt. Scorpios can be quite flirtatious because they get to know people through their emotions. Be aware that when it seems like a Scorpio is flirting with you, they just aren't afraid to talk to people about touchy subjects, how they are feeling, and what gives them pleasure. What may seem like an inappropriate conversation to you may feel perfectly normal to them. They are usually comfortable talking about things openly with people and want other people to acknowledge their desires so they can be happy. Knowing this ahead of time can help you understand how they interact with others. Number 7. Scorpios need control. A Scorpio will gladly take the lead in any way they can, whether it's ordering your meal at a restaurant, planning a trip, or anything else in that manner. The reason they tend to gravitate towards jobs where they can be independent is that they loathe someone else telling them what to do. They have so much energy that planning and leading come easily to them. If they get too bossy or you allow them to always get their way, they may not realize it, so it's important that you communicate what is important to you and not be too passive, or you'll end up resenting the relationship. Number 8. They're intrigued by darkness. Scorpios love to look into the darker aspects of life to understand them and to know how to solve major problems in society. They want to help, and they want to do by tackling heavy subject matters. They will go where the faint of heart dare not in a conversation, but they desire to find solutions to the destruction and pain on the planet by facing it. They find it comforting to constantly face their fear of death and need to constantly face their own darkness to keep it in check and continue learning from it. Number 9. Brutal honesty. Scorpios are known for their directness and for saying what they mean. They expect others to be honest with them and can sense when they are not. They feel safe when people say how they feel, even if it's complicated. Depending on the moon sign, Scorpios can be very forthcoming about their feelings, but even if they're a strong and silent type, you'll always know how a Scorpio is feeling. They aren't afraid of what others think. Number 10. Ferocious loyalty. Often consumed with wanting to help those they love, Scorpios usually only keep a few best friends and their family close to them. They are loyal in that they would give anything and everything for those they love, and you need to help them learn when they are giving too much so they don't get drained. They want the people they love to be happy, and they often get lost in loving others to the point that they themselves suffer. They're protective and keep friends for a long time. They often overlook the flaws of others when they love them too, because their emotional bonds are deep. If you want to learn more about Scorpio Man, click the link description below to get access Scorpio Man secrets.